Today I'm going to tell you guys about the story of the most savage prank in NHL history. For context, the main guy who got pranked, Torrey Mitchell, had random players coming up to him at face-offs all throughout his career asking if this story was true because of how utterly insane this is. So before we dive in, yes, as hard as it might be to believe, this story is 100% true. So it all starts back in August of 2009. Torrey Mitchell and Devin Setaguchi have played a few games in the show, but they're still pretty much rookies, and Jeremy Roenick, is going into his last season, and he's pretty much an icon in the NHL. I mean, the boys call him Hollywood because of how celebrity this guy is. It's 1 week before training camp, and the Sharks have just signed Dan Boyle and Brad Lukowich, so JR, being the Hollywood vet he is, decides he's going to get a private jet for a handful of the boys to head down to Vegas for the weekend so they can all get to know the new guys a little bit better before the season starts. So JR tells Torrey Mitchell, hey, this is what we're doing. I want a mix of vets and young guys, so you and Devin Setaguchi, are going to come. Torrey's hesitant because it's 1 week till training camp and he's not necessarily an established Shark, but JR assures him, listen, we're not even going to go out. We're just going to play some golf, have some nice dinners, play some cards. So Torrey's like, all right, whatever, let's do it. So Torrey, Seto, Boyle, Lukowich, JR, and another couple of vets hop on the private jet and head down to Vegas. Soon as they land, they head to the golf course, and JR is adamant about him pairing up with the kids for golf, referring to Seto and Torrey. They start golfing, and JR is immediately shoving double vodkas in their face, and of course, they're crushing them back. They finish up the round and get back to the suite, and it's an 8-bedroom villa, so they just kind of get settled. And then JR says he's going to take the kids down to the blackjack table, and Torrey's thinking like, wow, this legend veteran of the league is really taking a liking to us. So they head down to the table, and JR is giving them money to gamble with. So they're obviously having a blast, and there's just one other fella at the blackjack table who's by himself and chatting with JR, Torrey, and Seto. And this guy goes, fellas, have you heard about this fucking massive Vegas house party going down tonight? It's supposed to be off the charts. If you boys want to go, take my number because it's one of those parties where you actually need a code to get in, and I'll send you the code. So Torrey and Seto hear this, and they're thinking, holy shit, this is the real fucking deal. Like, this is some movie type shit. So JR takes the guy's number, and they head back up to the suite to meet up with the other boys, and JR tells them, fellas, we just heard about this sick party. I'm going to take the kids to go scope it out, and if it's fun, I'll call you guys to come. So JR, Torrey, and Seto head out. They get to the front door of this massive mansion with a huge bouncer manning the door, and the guy from the blackjack table texted them that the code word is Dakota. So the bouncer asks for the code. They say Dakota. They walk into this huge room with maybe 35 people in it, and they notice that it's a fucking black tie event, and they're wearing jeans and Ed Hardy t-shirts. So they're like, shit. When all of a sudden, this guy comes up from a back room and gives them all blazers to wear. They get directed to sit on the only couch in the room by that same guy who gave them the blazers. Everyone else is scattered across the room at these tall round tables, and a few people are over at this mini bar on the side of the room. All of a sudden, this new guy comes up, and simultaneously, the whole party goes silent, and this new guy introduces himself as the host and announces to the room, welcome Jeremy, Torrey, and Devin to our Life Force party. We're happy to have you. And then he walks away, and the room starts talking again. So Torrey's looking around like, what the fuck is Life Force? And JR's like, man, just chill. We're here. We're in. It's all good. And then a waitress comes over and offers them a bit of champagne. So now Torrey's feeling a little better. And he asks the lady, excuse me, miss, what is Life Force? And she looks at him and goes, oh, you don't know? And walks away. So now he's thinking, red flag, what the fuck? Then she comes back with 3 shots, and they're bright red. So Torrey's thinking, that's blood. Like, that's gotta be blood. I'm not fucking drinking that. And then the big bouncer from earlier comes over and leans over their couch like, hey, You gonna drink that? You better drink that. Torrey looks over and JR has already downed the thing. Seto is just kind of sipping it, but he's already so fucked up from the long day of drinking that he's just kind of out of it. And Torrey's just kind of here holding this red shot. When all of a sudden, the host comes back into the room and says, okay, it's time to get life force going. A lady comes out wearing only a bra and panties and gives a double kiss to every single person in the party. And Torrey's thinking, what the fuck, man? She then leaves the room and the host goes, that is our main event of the evening and we are so excited that she's giving herself to life force. Now at this point, Torrey's absolutely losing it. Giving herself to what? Where the fuck are we? And JR's like, man, it's fine. I double-checked the party. It's fine. Torrey doesn't know if it's a gangbang or a sacrifice or what the fuck's going on, but he doesn't have many options, so he's just kind of sitting on this couch. All of a sudden, the host comes out wheeling what looks like a hospital bed with this huge drape over it. And Torrey's thinking, dude, that's got to be her. And the whole party is now gathering around this hospital bed thing. So at this point, Torrey's really starting to freak out. He's looking around for exits, trying to plan an escape, but they rip the drape off, and it's her, filleted from the neck down to her waist with strawberries and whipped cream all over her. As soon as they realize what they're seeing, JR beelines it for the front door, which is like 60 feet from the couch they're sitting at. The bouncer grabs him, takes a knife out, and starts fucking shanking him. JR drops to the ground. His white shirt is now covered in blood. He's flopping around like a fish out of water. There's a pool of blood on the ground, and Torrey and Seto are now freaking out. Like their teammate just got killed in front of their eyes. Freaking out. Torrey runs over to that mini bar and hops up on the bar because there's a window above it. So he starts shouldering the window to see if it'll give, but it doesn't. The whole party is now staring at Torrey, and the host is going, Torrey, please come down. It's gonna be okay. And at this point, all the people inside the party have red eyes and fangs on their teeth. Torrey notices that the door, which the chick was wheeled out through, is open maybe 60 feet away down the hall. So he hops off the bar table and starts sprinting down the hall through the door, which leads him into an office with a big window, and he jumps right the fuck through it. He lands in some bushes about 12 feet down. He brushes himself off and starts booking it down the road and hides in some bushes. As he's hiding, he starts hearing, Torrey, Torrey. So he knows they're getting close. He sees a house across from him about 100 feet away with lights on in their kitchen. So he starts sprinting towards this house now because he sees a big window and he's going to jump right through it. When all of a sudden, his phone starts ringing and it's Seto. He answers the phone in a panic like, Seto, get out of there. What are you doing? And Seto, who can barely speak, he just barely mumbles, it's a joke, man. It's a joke. And Torrey's like, what? A joke? So he kind of takes a couple minutes and starts calming himself down, and he starts walking back towards the house where he sees JR laughing his fucking ass off, showing all of these fake blood patches on the inside of his blazer. Torrey then sees Seto, and he's like, Seto, what the fuck, man? And Seto's like, you were just gonna leave me? And Torrey's like, dude, I was fighting for my life. What was your plan? What were you gonna do? And Seto's like, dude, I didn't know. Like, I was gonna eat her if I had to survive. So basically, this was all designed by JR. It was his prank. All the people in the party were actors. The fangs and the red eyes were obviously fake fangs and contacts. The guy at the blackjack table was another hired actor by JR. The teammates who were left back at the hotel had no idea. They were actually going to be pranked next after Setaguchi and Torrey Mitchell. But because Torrey fucked the house up so bad, breaking the window and breaking other shit throughout his escape, the house owner was so angry that she made everybody get out, and it all ended. So there you have it, the best prank of all time in NHL history. If you guys want to hear other crazy, wild stories that happened in the NHL told just like this, make sure that you subscribe to the channel because we're going to be uploading a lot of them.